to the alcohol marker challenge. Now today I'm going to be showing you about grounding images before we move on to our final project, because it's all well and good and we love creating images and doing all those kinds of things, but you also need to be able to ground them, because no leaf or flower or what else have we coloured here? Some more leaves and flowers. I think that's all I stamped, or even these berries that I stamped in the live, really ever just stand in midair. You always want to ground them in some way. So if I had this as a standalone image, I would take something like my feather grey, which is in your depth and shadows pack. And what I'm doing again is just flicking. And you can either ground it with some ground. It might be a little bit heavier on this side. And the same with my leaves. So I'm going to take the point of my leaf here. And it's going to be shorter on one side than the other because of the shadow. Sometimes you might want to pull that shadow forward. It's easier with people or, animals and things. But it's still the same principle that you want to make sure they're grounded. Now, another grounding technique I want to show you is kind of with a haze. But you see all of a sudden how now it looks like that flower is maybe sitting on a work surface, or it's just kind of a bud that's laying there with something behind. So all of a sudden these now don't look like they're just floating in midair. They look like they have some texture to them. I'll lift them up so you can see there a little bit better. But they just give it that little bit of grounding, and I think it always looks better in image. And you'll notice it even more with people or animals, those kinds of things. Now, the other option you have is to kind of do like a haze. So I'm going to show you a few different ways on this one flower. So one way I've seen, like if people want to add the illusion of there being like sky behind, they might do long strokes like this around it and just create the illusion of a background. So that's something you can practice. Or you can take this and just do little strokes all around. Just like that. So either way you can create these, it's going to give it a little bit of shadow there so you can see. So you can see there how you've kind of got those long strokes or short strokes depending on the hazing you want to create. Or sometimes all I'll do is just take my marker, I'll outline it. And this grey shade is a really nice shade to do this with. Can see there. So you see how I have shaded just a little bit. It's tiny, it's really, really tiny. But then what I'll do is I'll take my blender pen and kind of almost like as a double shadow. So I overlap by like the tiniest little amount. I'll overlap and pull that around here. And I might work that a couple of times. And what that's going to do is it creates a haze. So now all of a sudden I have a haze around that image there. We'll try to add a picture in so you can see even more. But practice your left and right, your little strokes here. Practice it around the bottom here. Practice this in here as well. The short strokes around it, the long strokes around it. If you have maybe a really light blue, like a sky blue, you could try that. But this grey works really nice just for grounding. And try that hazing technique as well. And you'll just find all of a sudden your images pop more off the paper because it gives them that illusion that there really is a shadow or something behind them. So that's today's prompt. Go try that out, and then tomorrow we get to start on our final project. So I'm super excited to see what you're all going to be creating. Be sure to upload your shadow practices in the group, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.